gambling, specifically to a former interpreter of Dodgers, a star player, pitcher, and hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. Yeah.
So that dude gambles.
Yeah,
That's what they
What's
say.
the story?
How does the brightest star in baseball find himself at the center of a money laundering scandal? The headlines that shocked the sports world were more than a ripple, they were a tidal wave. Shohei Ohtani, the MLB's phenomenon and pride of Japan, woke up to see his trusted interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, branded a criminal. And as the details unfolded, rumors swirled about hidden gambling, missing millions, and insider whispers that the full story had yet to be told. This embarrassment wasn't just about stolen money, it was about shattered faith, broken systems, and the vulnerability of fame. Baseball fans everywhere had seen their share of scandals, but nothing on this scale, with so much at stake, especially not with a player regarded as the sport's savior. At first, Shohei's rise seemed unstoppable. He became the first player in nearly a century to dominate both at the plate and on the mound. And by his side, for almost every step on and off the field, was Mizuhara the interpreter, who did more than translate. He managed travel, meals, personal affairs, and built a bond few in baseball had ever seen. They were a pair that radiated trust, earning the nickname peanut butter and jelly among teammates. But what happened next was almost unbelievable. Beneath the bright lights and cheers, Mizuhara was leading a secret life. In 2021, through a casual poker meet, he crossed paths with Matthew Bowyer, an outsider bookmaker infamous for operating outside legal boundaries. Bowyer's operation used credit, not cash, running a sophisticated underground network that lured Mizuhara in. And soon, the interpreter was taking bets, losing money, and spiraling into an abyss from which there seemed no escape. Bowyer's high-stakes bookmaking wasn't just some backroom operation. It had roots in some of Las Vegas's most recognizable casinos. Caesar's Palace, one of the most iconic names in gambling, became entangled when allegations surfaced that their compliance protocols had failed for years. Anonymous tips were reportedly ignored. Suspicions about large, unexplained wire transfers were brushed aside. It wasn't just Mizuhara betting big and losing, it was the casino failing to enforce what should have been routine checks, eventually leading to that massive $7.8 million fine. By 2023, Mizuhara's debts had exploded. He owed Bowyer upwards of $16 million. Desperation consumed him. The interpreter allegedly transferred millions from Ohtani's personal accounts, sometimes impersonating Shohei to the bank, sometimes falsifying wire documentation. 9 transfers, each totaling $500,000, surfaced in Bowyer's records. Some were marked as loans, raising eyebrows everywhere, especially when Ohtani's name was attached. Rumors erupted across social media and sports radio. Was it possible for Shohei to be so oblivious as millions disappeared from his accounts? Anonymous insiders whispered that the arrangement was too convenient, speculating that baseball's biggest star must have known, if not about the details, then at least about the amounts. After all, who loses millions and never notices a thing? The press seized on every contradiction. Initially, Mizuhara confessed in interviews that he'd asked Ohtani to help pay debts, claiming Shohei agreed to cover him. Within 48 hours, he changed his story, recanting entirely and insisting Ohtani had no knowledge of the scheme. The timing so close to the investigation's start fueled speculation. Was Mizuhara protecting his superstar, or was he reconstructing facts to reduce the fallout? The Dodgers, caught off guard, scrambled to protect their image. Mizuhara's confession to teammates triggered an all-hands-on-deck crisis response: sports lawyers, agents, translators, and security. Ohtani's lawyers released one of the bluntest statements in MLB history: Shohei Ohtani has been the victim of a massive theft. The superstar himself spoke with gravity, broadcasting in his native Japanese to ensure accuracy. I have never bet on baseball or any other sport. I never asked anyone to do so. Up until a few days ago, I believed my money was safe and Ippei was a friend. He has stolen from me and lied about it for years. The pain was visible. Ohtani, usually reserved and composed, struggled to find words to describe his shock. It's overwhelming. I can't believe how much has happened without me knowing. Within hours, Mizuhara was fired. The Dodgers launched their own investigation, and MLB, eager to defend its reputation, rushed to clear Shohei. But some in the media and on social networks suggested the cleanup was too fast, that Ohtani's fame had shielded him from a deeper probe. The facts were staggering. Mizuhara placed more than 19,000 bets in less than 2 years, losing over $40M. Individual wagers sometimes reached as much as $500,000 per week. This wasn't casual gambling. It was the behavior of someone struggling with addiction, secrecy, and escalating risks. Bowyer, the bookmaker, operated with apparent impunity, and Caesars Palace's failure to check the source of his funds compounded the disaster. The casino's compliance team received multiple tips questioning Bowyer's activities and connections, yet for years nothing changed. An anonymous source inside Caesars described the internal struggle. "We kept raising alarms. We saw the money move, saw the big numbers not just from Bowyer, but others. They told us to back off." For the public, the drama was magnetic: celebrity, sports, gambling, millions lost, millions found. The controversy around whether Ohtani's fame and the Dodgers' pressure had suppressed the full scope of investigation made every new headline more explosive. If Ohtani's reputation took a hit, it was due in part to speculation that refused to die. Posts across Reddit, X formerly Twitter, and Discord questioned the timeline of MLB's and the FBI's investigation, doubting that anyone could be truly unaware of such massive theft. Some theorized that Shohei may have been at least indirectly aware, benefiting from the perks of a well-managed life, trusting his interpreter with everything. Others suggested Mizuhara's changing story was part of a coordinated strategy: take full blame, shield the player, keep the team and MLB itself untarnished. A few fans argued that the authorities cleared Shohei overnight because he's a superstar, fueling suspicion about favoritism and double standards. The debate was heightened by the swift statement from MLB Public Relations: "Our investigation found no evidence that Shohei Ohtani knew, participated, or benefited from illegal gambling schemes." For some, this was reassuring. For others, it sounded like damage control. No scandal is complete without America's loudest voices. Stephen A. Smith jumped onto ESPN, dissecting every angle. "I'm not accusing Ohtani." But in cases like this, it's rarely as simple as, "He had no idea." You have to ask how someone loses millions and never asks why. The truth is always messier than the press release. Smith's comments stirred fans, pushing for deeper transparency and accountability. Colin Cowherd, host of The Herd, took a different approach. "Ohtani's legacy is fine. This isn't the Pete Rose scandal. Nobody says Shohei bet on games. If he didn't touch baseball, the rest is ugly, but not a career ender. There's no player in history who's drawn this much attention. If MLB and the feds are satisfied, I'm satisfied." There are a lot of bored people online who want drama. On his radio show, Cowherd mocked conspiracy theorists and dismissed claims of a cover-up, arguing that stars are targets, not necessarily culprits. Still, others, including former players and anonymous MLB insiders, privately admitted that the scandal would linger for years. The damage to Shohei's image, once seen as pristine, would require careful rebuilding. Even Ohtani's teammates, while supporting him publicly, reportedly expressed shock and confusion in private team group chats. The breach wasn't just about money. It was about shattered trust, uncertainty, and what happens when the line between personal and professional becomes blurred. Mizuhara's path from trusted colleague to disgraced thief stunned both sides of the Pacific. In Japan, where loyalty and honor are cultural gold standards, the betrayal was felt deeply. Media outlets picked up on every update: losses, legal proceedings, and allegations of tax fraud. The interpreter, once beloved by fans and family, admitted to everything in court, exposing the full scope of the crime: impersonation, wire fraud, tax evasion. Prosecutors presented evidence that Mizuhara manipulated Ohtani's accounts 20 times, faking authorization, concealing bets, and laundering money through Bowyer's operation. Facing up to 33 years in prison, Mizuhara's fall was total and, for Ohtani, heartbreaking. As the MLB works to clean its own house, the Dodgers presented a new interpreter, Will Ayrton, tasked with restoring trust and communication. Team manager Dave Roberts spoke candidly: "This was a setback. We're rebuilding. Shohei's comeback is about more than just performance. It's about trust." Caesars Palace paid dearly. fined for ignoring internal warnings and failing to investigate Bowyer's suspicious transactions for nearly 8 years. The resulting scrutiny forced the casino industry to look inward, launching new compliance protocols and reminding staff to prioritize integrity over profit. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred announced sweeping policy changes, promising more oversight when handling player finances and internal staff. Trust is our currency. We will do whatever it takes to protect it. In the wake of the scandal, MLB fans remained on edge. Some defended Ohtani fiercely. Others, burned by the experience, began tracking rumors about other stars, wondering if losses and hidden debts could be plaguing additional clubhouses. Gambling addiction is a hidden plague, especially in the high-pressure world of sports. Mizuhara's betting spiraled not because of greed alone, but because of stress, isolation, and escalating debts. Experts on ESPN and FS1 debated whether enough support existed for staff and players dealing with similar temptations. The answer, according to psychologists and counselors, was mixed. This case is about more than one interpreter, said Dr. Lisa Hernandez, an addiction specialist. It's about an ecosystem that values performance and secrecy, but not always honesty. Meanwhile, Shohei's own ordeal wasn't just legal, it was deeply personal. The betrayal affected his relationships, mental health, and sense of safety. Though cleared officially, Ohtani's journey back to trust and confidence remains ongoing. The dust has started to settle, but the echoes of this scandal will continue for years. Was Shohei Ohtani truly the victim, or is there more to discover beneath the surface? Will anonymous sources leak new details, casting fresh shadows over baseball's brightest star? Or will Ohtani's extraordinary talent and focus help fans move past this saga, letting him reclaim his place among legends? One thing is for sure, Caesar's Palace, MLB, and the Dodgers learned painful lessons about oversight, trust, and the cost of secrecy. And for anyone who followed this story from the beginning, there remains a lingering sense of mystery. As the Ayrton era begins for the Dodgers and Ohtani fights for redemption, the world waits to see if new revelations will emerge. For sports fans, insiders, and armchair detectives alike, the saga of Shohei Ohtani and Ippei Mizuhara stands as both a cautionary tale and an enduring legend, bigger than any single game. But as always, when it comes to the shadows behind the bright lights, there's almost always more than meets the eye. If you want the latest twists as this story continues to unfold and more behind-the-scenes truths from the world of baseball, make sure you're subscribed to the Show Insider. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe every part of the official story, or do you think there are secrets the world still hasn't heard? Your take could be featured in our next episode. And don't forget, hit that like button if today's deep dive kept you thinking, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on the biggest stories in the game. This is the Show Insider, where legends are made, myths are tested, and every scandal gets its day in the sun. See you next time.